Earthquakes are among the most devastating natural disasters in the world, affecting millions of people each year. Earthquakes not only cause buildings to collapse, leading to loss of life and property damage, but also result in long-term consequences such as tsunamis, landslides, and even changes in the topography of affected areas. A combination of high magnitude, a shallow epicenter in a densely populated area, and soil liquefaction contributed to the severe damage caused by the March 28 earthquake in Myanmar. A powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck central Myanmar, shaking Mandalay, the country's second-largest city, as well as several neighboring nations, including China, Thailand, and Vietnam. The earthquake occurred at 12:50 p.m. on March 28, 2:20 a.m. USA time, at a depth of approximately 10 kilometers, which is considered shallow, according to the United States Geological Survey, USGS. 12 minutes later, a second earthquake measuring 6.7 in magnitude struck at the same depth, south of the initial tremor. By the end of the day, 9 smaller quakes, ranging from 4.4 to 4.9 in magnitude, had been recorded in the region, according to Live Science. At least 144 people lost their lives, and 732 were injured in the earthquake. A monastery and several buildings collapsed in Myanmar. In Bangkok, at least 10 people were killed, and a 33-story skyscraper under construction collapsed. Thai authorities reported 16 injuries and 101 people missing. Despite Bangkok being far from the fault line in Myanmar, this is a major earthquake, and it is not surprising that it could be felt clearly even at such a distance, said Gregory Barroza, geophysics professor at Stanford University. The earthquakes occurred near the Sagaing Fault, which runs from north to south across Myanmar, extending nearly 1,600 kilometers toward the Andaman Sea. Earthquakes along this fault are known as strike-slip earthquakes, where one landmass moves horizontally past another, similar to the San Andreas Fault in California, USA. The destructive power of an earthquake is not solely determined by its magnitude but also by its location and depth. Even with a lower magnitude, shallow earthquakes can cause intense shaking at the surface, posing a severe threat to infrastructure in densely populated areas. The Myanmar earthquake possessed all the dangerous factors: a high magnitude, a shallow epicenter, and a densely populated area with many vulnerable buildings and structures. Because these earthquakes were extremely shallow, they could be as devastating as the 7.8 and 7.5 magnitude earthquakes that struck Turkey in 2023, causing widespread casualties and damage, according to Jeffrey Park, a professor of Earth and Planetary Sciences specializing in earthquakes and Earth structure at Yale University. We expect the casualties and damage from this earthquake to be similar because it was a shallow earthquake in a densely populated area, Park stated. Since 1900, the region has recorded 6 strike-slip earthquakes of magnitude 7 or greater within a 250 km radius of the March 28 earthquake. The most recent was a 7.0 magnitude earthquake in January 1990, which caused 32 buildings to collapse. Another earthquake, with a magnitude of 7.9, struck south of the latest epicenter in February 1912. Key structural elements of earthquake-resistant buildings: base isolation. This system uses flexible bearings or rollers between the foundation and the building structure, allowing the building to move independently from ground motion and reducing the force transferred from the earthquake. Dampers, installed within the building's framework. Dampers absorb and dissipate energy generated by the earthquake, reducing the amplitude of vibrations. Common types of dampers include fluid dampers and magnetic dampers, steel and reinforced concrete frames. Using high-ductility materials such as steel and reinforced concrete allows buildings to withstand significant deformations without collapsing. These frames are often combined with diagonal bracing to enhance stiffness and stability. Tuned mass damper, TMD. A large mass, usually suspended at the top of a building, oscillates in opposition to the building's movement, reducing vibrations. A notable example is the Taipei 101 Tower in Taiwan, which uses a 660-ton mass damper to counteract earthquakes and typhoons. Earthquakes are unavoidable natural disasters, but humans can mitigate their impact by understanding their causes, effects, and response measures. Designing earthquake-resistant structures, implementing early warning systems, and developing survival skills are crucial for protecting lives and property. Raising awareness and thorough preparation will enable communities to respond more effectively when an earthquake